Hello and welcome everyone back to another episode of Red Devil's Advocate. I am Andy, joined by Amrit and Sean. We've had a long and boring international break, but we have some Premier League action to break down for you, starting with Brighton. Who wants to talk about Brighton?
Can I just say it was really nice having the international break and not stressing over United for a couple of weeks. I thought it was almost like being on vacation. It was grand. Yeah, wow, what a turnaround. Did not see that coming at all from our first half performance. I was thinking this is it. It's 1-0 and we're staying at 1-0 and we're going to lose this. This is a great return back to Premier League football. But they turned it around and I was in shock.
Awesome stuff. Sean, you want to go next or do you want me to go next? I have a few things to say.
I mean, I've got a list of points, so if you want to
go. Well, obviously, we have our group chat, and when you look at other people's results who are around where we are in the table, Chelsea got embarrassed, Leicester got slapped, Arsenal, who aren't near us in the table, to be fair, but they got sent home.
Big table clubs here now, come on.
They got embarrassed, so it was very. It felt like it was an omen of some sorts that we were going to drop some points today. But apparently Brighton have never beaten either Manchester club. They don't have a single point against either team in the Premier League as long as the current manager has been in power. So, yeah, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it would be Danny Welbeck to score against us. It would be.
It would be.
Who else? Who else?
Of course it would be.
But I think after 5 or 10 minutes, I kind of felt like we had this. We got into the second half and our players just looked very confident. I could see us winning from there. Brighton, their game plan was very obvious after they scored the goal. They had every man behind the ball. They had 2 banks of 5. And they weren't going to concede a goal, and that was their game plan, and I respect it. It didn't work, but I respect the attempt. I think that especially after we got the first goal, Rashford's goal, he took that very well. I'm sure Sean is going to full name him as he deserves the respect. I mean, it's no wonder he's got a back injury. He's been carrying the club along with Bruno all the season.
He's carrying the club and the Labour Party of this country. My man is definitely due an osteopath appointment to get his back fixed because bloody hell, he is carrying a lot right now.
Honestly, I don't know how he does it. On the pitch, off the pitch, he is. It's not like he's average anywhere. He's such a talent. Greenwood scored his first headed goal, which is fantastic for him as well. It's going to do wonders for his confidence. I love when the Manchester Academy lads score. And I don't have too many negative things to say. I did like that bit at the end where Maguire and Dunk looked like they were in a fight because one of the commentators said, yep, I would pay to see this fight. I don't know if that's going to land me. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to land me in trouble, but I'd love to see that fight.
I mean, we did have some shaky defensive moments after the second goal that were a bit worrying, as always. Mm-hmm. It was just, completely different team the second half. Like, we came out much more confident, much more attacking. The first half was abysmal. Like, the passing was not great. It just felt like the team wasn't communicating yet. Fred with the classic. Though I don't know, I think there were other stinkers on the pitch other than Fred. I don't think I had too much negative stuff to say. There was negativity, but I feel like there was a lot of other shit going on that pitch, basically.
I will personally agree with that because in the group chat I was saying because he's playing with Pogba, he's not going to look as bad.
Yeah.
Even though when you focus on his moments on the ball, very shaky. He plays like someone who's had too much coffee. He doesn't know what he's going to do. And, sometimes he does a world-class pass and sometimes he sets up the opponents. I feel that we still have this thing in our heads where we can't just play the way we want to. We have to concede before we start going out of the gates, and that's going to hurt us in the long run.
It's just, this is it. I don't like this statistic that's going, like the statistics that are going around, like obviously with pundits and on social media about us coming from behind. And it's just like, but we shouldn't be conceding those stupid goals and then having to come back from behind. We should have done that as a 2-0 victory, the end. Sloppy defence work really that goal went in, and then I guess a little bit of goalkeeping error from Hendo, but we shouldn't. I really can't stand that statistic of like 24 games and 21 of them we've come back from or something like that. I can't remember the statistic off my head.
Something like that.
We shouldn't be conceding goals and then having to come back. It's just stupid. It's ridiculous. So I would appreciate if we just won and played instead of having to concede a goal to then pull up our socks and win. It's quite frustrating because it just, I don't know, it just makes it so, we've got that element of risk of we need to then claw back 1, 2, whatever goals in the second half, and we can't keep playing second half FC. It's just not gonna, that's gonna run thin very quick.
Yeah. Just following on from what you said really quickly, I think that we have another stat. I think it's in Premier League history, no other team has won from a losing position or conceding first. I think there's at least 7 games between us and the next team. And following on from that, I feel our goalkeepers should have way more clean sheets because we don't need to be conceding all of these stupid goals. When you think about a lot of the goals we've conceded, they're not exactly goalkeeping errors. There are defensive errors, defensive midfield errors.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that we really need to look at going forward because Henderson should have done better, but
you say he should have done better. It was a miracle he saved it in the first place.
Yeah, like I was saying, like the wan-bissaka should have done a lot better keeping on his man. I mean, maybe I'm being harsh there with Henderson, but I still feel like he could have cleared that. We've seen De Gea pull miraculous double saves over his time here, but I've talked for way too long. Sean,
so I want to address one thing before I actually get into my main point here. Obviously, we have spent quite a fair bit of time slating the player here or there, despite supporting the team itself. And I just want to say that before the international break, something happened that it just left a really sour taste in my mouth. And people need to understand the difference of insulting someone because they're a bad player and being a racist, and it's not okay. Like, what I'm going to do in a few minutes is completely just. It's completely acceptable as seen by the public. And when I tell you why, you will understand, because Fred is a garbage football player. But when you start bringing his race and the color of his skin into it, and you start putting tweets with monkeys and the blackface moon and it's not acceptable. You shouldn't be doing that to someone. Like, you're attacking someone for something that they can't control, and that's never acceptable. And it's like, considering the history that United have of, if you think of like Andy York, is it not Andy York? Andy Cole, Dwight York. Sorry, just combine.
I mean,
the ultimate player.
So long.
Andy Cole, Dwight York, Patrice Evra, Nani, Anderson, wan-bissaka, Fred, even though I don't like him, Paul, but like some of the players, like, and then you have the people who are cheering for them saying these outrageous things. There's no room for it in football, and there's no room for it in the real world either. Like, it's said. Now to get onto my point of why you can insult the man, right? He's the reason that we conceded the first goal. Well, him and Pogba, it was a mixture of both. Pogba passes the ball to the referee. What the hell kind of a pass was that? Fred's like, because it goes towards the referee, he's like, Should I get the ball? Maybe, maybe not. And then it's like, oh, we've conceded. What? And then you can see him like scrambling as he's attempting to get the ball back as well. It's like, what? Why is this man on the pitch? It's absolutely shambolic. Because when you were saying about the defending, once again, can tie it back to last pod. The defenders and Fred are letting Hendo down.
Yeah.
Fred sets him up. The defenders are like, yeah, he can have it. Why not? But both Lindelof and Bissaka. Bissaka has no spatial awareness. Welbeck is within like 3 or 4 foot and maybe like a foot behind him. He has no idea that he's there. The way that wan-bissaka's already jumping up and then Welbeck comes in out of nowhere, literally
So not to like interrupt or cut you off or anything, but to make things worse, wan-bissaka quickly glances over to his right and he can see Welbeck there. So he sees him, but then he's ball watching. And Welbeck has fantastic movement, to be fair to him, but wan-bissaka should be tracking the run. Yeah. He's ball watching. He's the right back, so there's no one covering his back. And yeah, it's made even worse that he glances, he sees him, and then he just lets him have a run.
And carries on.
So I didn't even see the glance. I was more fixated on how he managed to get in between the two defenders. Because Lindelof, that's your position. Why are you so far forward? Where's Maguire? Why are you in Maguire's position? Like, how is our defense so shifted to the left-hand side that everyone's dragged over a position again? And Lindelof's left there trying to be the flying man once again, doing nothing. It's so frustrating. It really is.
You've asked the £1 million question. Where was Maguire? Where was he? Because I can't remember.
Mr. Stunt Padding, doing the best that he can again. If I'm not near the ball, it won't look badly against me.
It's not a defensive error. And that's why he looks so good, stats-wise.
Like when people from other teams are like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind Maguire in my team. And I'm like, take him, please.
He's yours. Have
he's
him.
Like, oh, but he's such a good defender. Like he's captain for Man United. He's doing amazing bits for England. Why wouldn't you want? He's garbage. He is the worst defender that in my 28 years of watching football, the only defender that I can compare to him is like Wes Brown. And for one sole reason, he put away so many own goals. Like Wes Brown's own goal record makes him comparable to Maguire. But then I prefer Wes Brown. I'd rather take the risk of an own goal.
Wow.
I mean, we do still have the man, the myth, the legend, Phil Jones.
You know what? You know what?
Please don't. Oh, don't say it, Jordan. I beg you, don't say it.
Mate, give him some crutches. Bring him on.
Oh, my life.
He's got a Premier League medal, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's got the medal. He's got more trophies. But yeah, to obviously address Henderson, as you said, yes, we've seen De Gea make amazing saves from like one side of the net to the other. But if you think how close that is, the fact that he even reacted to it is a miracle. Like he could have potentially like took the power play and jumped up for it and just completely ignored the two defenders. But I feel like one of them told him like, "Oh no, I've got this," and he listened.
They did not have it.
It was at that moment he realized he messed up. But yeah, we should never have conceded that goal. It's just absolute shambles. But yeah, then he said we made another miracle happen. We came back, and yes, rightly so. Lord of the Realm, Sir Lord of Justice of the Supreme Court, Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, giver of food, head supplier of education, scorer of goals, Europa League winner, FA Cup winner, Carabao Cup winner, Community Shield winner, the People's Champion, Doctor, Professor, Mr. Deputy Supreme Allied Commander of the Europe, Coach Marcus Rashford, Esquire, OBE, Bachelor's Honours.
Have we added Leader of the Opposition to that?
we should.
We've got to. I like how Coach is just sprinkled in there as well.
I mean, he's coaching people how to feed the kids.
Coaching the kids, man.
But literally, you don't give him time to think. Give him time to react and nothing else.
Every time.
Yep.
That's how he scores the goals.
He didn't have time to think about what he was doing. It was a straight, here's the ball, there's the goal, kick it, done. You love to see it. You really do.
The only way Rashford scores these goals is when he doesn't think. Rashford, when he doesn't have to think, is a glorious thing to behold. Fantastic. It's when he's got too much space, too much time to think that we see him do basically trying to run the ball into the net, which is it's impossible.
And instead he starts acting like a crab and running sideways and
deer in headlights.
Yeah. But unfortunately we're missing Ty for this one because I recall someone saying that our strikers don't score headers. and our strikers have bad head shape.
The only one whose head shape is suited for a header is Maguire, but he cannot head it for love or money.
The angles.
Yeah. But Greenwood coming in with the amazing head shape, the nice, the surface area, surface area of dreams, protecting the crumb, doing what he needs to do.
Surface area of dreams.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Simple 5-yard volley from Pogba lands a simple 2-yard header from Greenwood's.
Was it Pogba or Fernandes with the assist?
I'm sure it was Pogba.
Yeah,
Pogba attempts a volley, and whatever happened to that volley?
He did not hit it right.
That volley explains his entire performance. Like passing the ball to the ref, the volley itself. It was.
I feel that Van der Beek helped Greenwood there with that goal because Van der Beek was in the box, and we saw it in, I think it was the FA Cup game. I can't remember which competition it was, but Van der Beek basically dummied it. He didn't touch it, and then Greenwood shot and scored. Yeah. So I feel like Van der Beek being in the box here he doesn't have to do anything, but like he's a threat, he's a danger, and the keeper can't account for Van der Beek and Greenwood. And maybe he's got that Kuroko vibe going on.
Oh, yes. He never gets played, but when he does,
he poses a threat. I mean, I'm quite happy with that. If he's in there and he's posing a threat and he's rattling some defenders, I'm more than happy with that. Or he's making the space for the opportunities for our strikers, etc. I'm quite happy with that. He'll get there. He will get there in time. He just needs the play time. I have belief in VDB. I have belief. I have faith. Hopefully they'll see sense and get rid of Fred in the summer. That would be, oh my God. I think, you know what? I think I'll cry tears of joy the way I cried when they said that Jose Mourinho was getting sacked, basically. Like, I was in the office practically weeping with tears, and the director that sits next to me is Sports Liverpool. So I'm just sitting there like, our manager's been sacked and I've never been so happy. The day I hear that Fred is no longer part of Manchester United Football Club, I think I will weep tears of joy. I will be very happy. Yeah. Obviously, wish him luck, etc.
Without getting too political, but I feel like certain celebrations will happen. People will be taken to the streets. There'll be a lot of parties.
Yeah. But in this match, Ollie had 3 chances to take off that deadwood, and he didn't. I understand the Rashford sub, because he was clearly not 100%.
Yeah, he needed to be subbed off. The minute he scored that goal, I was like, get the boy off, because he is definitely going to be playing. Otherwise, he's going to do the same thing and play him with an injury, and it's just going to be worse. And then we might lose Rashford for a bit, and we don't need that or want that right now.
Definitely not. But why won't Ollie take Fred off? It's almost like Ty's onto something here with his agenda, man. Yeah. If, as Amrit said, I want to see him go in the summer. Pickled onion crisps and a beer. Have him go.
Well, the thing is, funny that you're talking about transfers and that, because I saw an article from ESPN. Apparently, they had an interview with Ollie, and there's quotes there. And obviously, it's not a live interview; it's just a written one. So I don't know how factual this is. But apparently, Ollie was saying that we shouldn't be expecting many transfers to happen in the upcoming window, if any at all. Apparently, the money in football is dwindling so much that fewer and fewer players are actually going to be leaving clubs. And Manchester United is really struggling right now. So whether or not the fans are getting their hopes up thinking that we're going to be getting this player and that player, basically the gist of what was said is we shouldn't. And I think we're going to be seeing the same 23 players next season.
See, I don't even think
there's going to be no action.
I don't even think it's that many players that we need to buy. We need to get rid of some deadwood. We're not going to get much for that deadwood, let's be real. But I don't think there's many players that we need to buy, to be fair. I think that the squad as it is shaping up to, obviously we've got, as you like to say, Sean, the stats back it up that we do have a squad that can perform. It's just a few maybe little expensive tweaks.
I mean, the thing is, it's not even that expensive. We did the maths.
Oh yeah,
a clean. Was it 150, 170 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah, a complete squad rotation. We're done. We have an elite, European Cup winning side right there. You have Ronaldo, you have Haaland, you have Mbappe, you have Rashford, you have Bruno Fernandes feeding all of them. You don't need anything else. You don't need a back line at that point.
Oh, no. No. How about?
Just attack and vibes.
Keep Shaw, at least Shaw.
Oh, yeah, no, you have Shaw, Bissaka, and Hendo in goal. And then you have obviously Fred's always going to get played. So Fred's in the middle. Yeah, Fernandes up in front of him. And then you just have all the attackers just there, waiting to pounce.
No centre backs.
No centre backs. We don't need them. That's what Fred's for.
Oh God. Fred as a centre back. Oh God.
So with that, yeah, when people say stuff like that, it always makes me think, couldn't you just sell a lot of players and get money for them if you're struggling for cash? Doesn't that make sense?
Okay, so here's faction. Pogba wants to leave. With his current peak in performance, I'm saying that we're going to get closer to 70 mil for him again. I was saying 60 with his deadwood performances. He's actually been scoring goals. He's been doing passes. Yes, he's been injured, but he's been performing half decent apart from maybe Brighton. So I'm saying 70 mil right there, right? Fred, you can grab 20, 30 mil for him. We're not going to miss him. Matic, you can get another 10 mil for him. Mata, you can get a 5-10 mil for him. Romero, same again. It adds up. We're getting to 120 mil just by selling the deadwood. Let West Ham keep Lingard. That's a 20, 30 mil right there. He's been playing really well. His price is definitely he's got back into the England squad. You can't say that he's only worth 10 mil again. He's performing really well out there. And realistically, he's not going to get played. He's never going to get played at United. So I'd rather see him go and actually show his full potential. He's a great youth talent. He is a great prospect.
He might turn into a club legend.
He might. And then,
no, I completely agree. It's hard to see if Lingard came back, where would we play him now with the squad that we have? It'd be in the same position of not getting games in.
The only way that he might get games is because obviously Donny, at least what I've seen one article where apparently Donny said that he wants to leave. Apparently there's an article stating that Donny has said in an interview he wants to leave and he is asked to hand in his transfer request. I think it was on either Sky Sports or BBC. because I don't follow all of those trash. Like, oh yes, we're signing Messi next week. Oh, really? No, none of those ones.
Maybe there should be a Shadeborough FC. Just shitty
really football
gossip. Just agents chatting shit on Instagram. Like, hey, Pogba's going to go to Arsenal next season, and Van der Beek wants to leave, but his dad is going to start fighting Ole. Just shitty Shadeborough FC gossip. I'd love to see it.
God. It'd be very entertaining. It would. But yeah, so Donny, like, I'd say we get another 20, 25 mil for him. Like, his price can only drop. Like, he's not been played.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely love to see Maguire go. I'd love it. And with his stat padding, we can get 120 mil for him. Easy. He's best defender in the league. You can't top that. That is class. Pure class. Look, if you'd spend 100 quid on a real fridge, why not spend 120 mil on one that can walk? Come on. It's science. It makes sense.
One that can walk and bribe European police officers.
Exactly. Yeah. True. What more could you want?
What more could you want? Exactly.
Any final comments on the Brighton game before we move on?
No, not really.
No.
It's a miracle. Right. I'm glad. That's basically secured us top 4, so we can just focus on Europa now. We can just focus on Europa now and hopefully get some silverware there. Glad we came back, but God, was it looking bleak at half time.
Yeah. Well, Europa League is the order of the week. On Thursday, we travel to Granada, 8th in La Liga, I still believe. What is your prediction for that match, Sean?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we did the predictions for them before we had the break, but I've had the time to think about it. And I think Ty's right, like, they're not in the Premiership, they're not a threat. 8-0. Double digits, yeah? Double-digit club. Yeah? Right. Was it Pam 6-0 each game, yeah?
Hashtag Sean out. It's clear you're here to fit in on the madness that isn't present on the pod right now.
Where are you? Come back.
Your prediction?
I think we'll go through. 2-0 in the first leg, though, and then maybe at 1 goal, or just hold on to the 2-0 in the second. And take the away goals.
Yeah, I think we'll win 2-0 on Thursday. Personally, I already said on the last pod we're going through. So, yeah, it's only formality, that second leg.
I feel like, realistically, I feel like it's going to be a struggle. I don't see us going through overall, but I see us beating them in at least 1 leg.
Okay. The other match this week will be against Spurs. We travel to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and of course, at OT we lost 6-1. So, Amrit, where do you see the return match going?
2-1 again. We'll do another concede a goal, play absolute diabolic in first half. It's just our way of playing, isn't it?
It's a classic United result.
We need to screw Tottenham over as a comeback from what happened earlier this season, because that was disgusting. It would be great if we won 6-1. That would be fantastic. I'd love to see that. If we do a 6-1, that would be fantastic. All the penalties, no VAR, just straight penalties. Fernandez on a hat-trick. Everything. All of it.
You know what? Why not? Fred hat-trick as well.
Fred will score a bloody absolute cracker. Fred will score at least 1 cracker before the season's out.
Oh dear. Sean.
You know what? I can see it being a 0-0. I can see Ollie playing that respectful football and it actually working this time. because
Maybe
obviously, like what like looking back on it and everything, everyone else met Ollie with his respectfulness, which is why we drew the 0-0s apart from that one Arsenal match. Jose was the only one who didn't treat us with respect, and rightly so.
the right thing.
And I feel like seeing where he currently is and where we currently are, he may show us a bit more respect this time. And because of that, we won't get the same panning.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Also, Spurs are on a bit of a meltdown. Apparently, Jose has thrown some of his players under the bus again.
You love to see it.
I don't know if you saw the quote, but my word is he box office.
What did he say?
Yeah, I think we need an Amazon Prime special part 2 just to see the meltdown.
He said something along the lines of, I can't even call them mistakes. We didn't win because of qualities associated with the players I have. So he basically said it's the players' fault. We don't have 3 points.
Oh, yes. He literally said that these are championship players and they shouldn't be playing in the Prem, and that's why we lost. The quality, mate.
I can't believe he's saying that.
Is he the manager of Sheffield United? What's he saying? There's no quality. There's no class.
There's no class.
I can't believe this guy. The thing is, he got sacked from United. Didn't he have like a really long excursion from managing? And it was like, I'm different. I've tasted different foods. I've got different ideas. I'm a better person now. Like, as soon as Tottenham lost their first match, it was like, some of these players, I'm sorry to say, they are shit.
Takeaways and things that makes him a greater manager.
He can't change. He won't change. So yeah, I'm very happy he's still in the Premier League, and I'm even more happy that he is not managing United. My word, what a nightmare!
I mean, if he was still managing United, I know for a fact the class that would come out of his mouth about Maguire, about Lindelof, about Fred, the tweets. Like you'd need to print them off and frame them. It would be beautiful.
Your quality of the memes. Actually, I really want to hear Jose go into Maguire in our defence now. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, honestly, I remember one time Spurs won, but his Instagram post was, "When you don't play well, but you get 3 points." I can imagine that every week for us. Oh, yeah.
So when you can't trust 6 of your players, but you're top of the league.
I think we'll win 1-0. We're gonna be away. We love an away game.
Come on.
It's elite. I think we're gonna continue that role. Jose's meltdown's gonna continue. Spurs might not even finish 6th. So yeah, I would love for us to be the fuel to more Jose fire. Well, that's all we've got for the matches, but we've got some other stuff that we could talk about. Namely, the goalkeeping situation. Henderson has remained in goal, even though De Gea has come back from paternity leave. But he's not getting played.
I like it.
Where does everyone stand on the Hendo versus De Gea civil war? Sean's giving a big thumbs up.
A big Fred thumbs up. Double it. Go on. Give us a full energy. Yes. Oh, no.
I'm just going to, oh, no.
Oh, no. I would like to hear Sean speak on this first. So,
obviously, at the start of the season, I wanted De Gea out. I wanted him sold. I said take 30, 40 million for him. Get a secondary replacement in after Hendo. Have them just training in the background. Have Romero as our second keeper. I was content. Then, Dave save started happening. Started coming back into form. It was this blinding, winning games. Well, Not right first. Obviously, like we were like 16th at first. I have to address the absolute shamble, which solidified me wanting him gone. But yeah, got to top of the league, beautiful. And you have to consider the fact that obviously our defence of Henderson goes out to the same as De Gea, because like it's not fair to say that Henderson's playing a blinder, but he gets the short end of the straw because of defence, and then you can't have the same argument for De Gea. Like it's the same defenders and Fred. It's the same set of players every time. And Fred, always, and Fred. So that being said, obviously he started playing really well, and I'd like to keep him in the club as number 2. I want Henderson as number 1 because personally, even though the inexperience is there, we've seen it. Even though the sloppiness is there because of the defenders and Fred, he's still played well. And there's, especially in the Man City match, he demanded so much more from the defence and from the team. Like
so much better.
Like that was his box. There was no second thoughts about it. Like he was in his zone, and he was like, "This is me. This is what I can do."
Yeah,
and you can't ask for better than that.
No.
And personally, I don't think De Gea could give us better than that. Like essentially, for right now, they're on the same level, with De Gea dwindling because of age and Henderson just getting better. The more we play him, the better he's going to get.
Emirates, what do you say?
I completely agree with what Sean said. I think we should carry on with Hendo as our number 1. The only thing is, De Gea's going to be a bit expensive number 2 to have on our bench. But yeah, as you know, as time's going on, you've got the opposite problems of De Gea's form dipping because of age, and then you've got Hendo who's just starting up and he's getting better and better with every game. I think at present, I really do prefer Hendo in goal. I feel a bit more safe with him in goal at the moment. Bar our defending problems, obviously, that needs a lot more work. But I think, Hendo for me at the moment is my number 1.
Fair enough.
What about you, Andy?
I mean, it's not an easy. Yeah, it's not like picking between Pogba and Fred, is it?
No. As I said, I personally think, regardless of which one is in goal, they're going to do a good job.
Yeah.
But it is just a case of we need Hendo to get more game time.
Yeah.
And we're in a comfortable enough position where he can see out the season.
Yes.
Yeah, that is completely true. And I guess I'm glad I'm not Ollie right now, because I would hate to have that problem. But you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter who we put in between the sticks, as long as it's not Lee Grant, we are secure in the back. Like Romero is very good, but De Gea, what can't be said about him? And Henderson, you two are absolutely right. Henderson, I said it before, he has the highest ceiling in terms of legend status between him and De Gea. And the way he commands his box, the way he communicates with the defenders, we haven't seen that in a long time. And I guess I just feel really bad for De Gea because he deserves better. Like, Phil Jones is someone we should be treating like this. Like, ship him out. Fred is someone who should be treating like this. Ship him out. I guess I'm just being sentimental at this point. I feel like De Gea deserves some sort of farewell tour or something. Like, send him off with, roses and stuff. He's just had a kid as well.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're right. We can't disregard everything that he's done. Like once he got his eyesight sorted, etc., he went on a magnificent run of being like pretty much the best goalkeeper in the league. Like he was fantastic. Like, reminded me of Van der Sar at his best. Like was fantastic. But he won't be going out sad. He's going out as a club legend. Like we can't deny that. His dip is naturally going to happen. That his form dips. I think maybe he's got like another. I think he's definitely going to stay for let's say another season or 2, and then I don't think it's going to be an immediate thing that we get rid of De Gea like tomorrow. I think it'll be another season or 2 that we still have both of them. It's just I agree. I there's in a flipping sticky situation there of who to play.
Yeah,
I think see out the season with Hendo, and then see over the summer what happens, how they are over the summer, and then we can get back into. I kind of imagine that De Gea will probably be starting at the beginning of the season, and we'll see how it goes. Is my prediction.
Yeah, at this point, I don't see De Gea coming back to first team football, at least for the league and Champions League football.
Yeah,
I think this is a statement by Ollie because De Gea is fit and Henderson is still the man. I agree with both of you that he is the future number one. And unlike what we're doing with Van der Beek, we're giving Hendo time. We're giving him the minutes. He needs these minutes. And I can't argue with it because you both said it. There's just this unspoken confidence when Henderson is the goalkeeper. You don't worry so much about him having a clanger. He had one against AC Milan, but that was a free kick. So it wasn't like he, palms the ball away and it goes in or anything like that. He caught the ball yesterday against Brighton and then he dropped it, but that didn't lead to a goal. I just feel he is the guy to go into next season and onwards with as the number one. I think that it's going to be very expensive to get rid of De Gea because he's on 350k a week. No one is paying that. I don't know what. I don't see him agreeing to a pay cut either because why should he?
Yeah, this is it. You can't be going up to De Gea and be like, well, you're not going to be number one, but you need to take a pay cut, even though it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But we can't have an expensive bench warmer basically like that. It's just not. It's not the math ain't mathing for that one.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's a tough one, very tough one.
But to address one thing that Andy said about obviously feeling the security with Hendo, I feel it's a case of we haven't had enough time with him. Obviously, we've seen De Gea start up, seen him at his greatest. We've now seen him at his worst. And so we've had the longevity of watching the abysmal matches. We've seen the miracle saves. We know that he can do these amazing things, but because we've also seen the absolute shockers, it's a case of it's a bit. But then with Henderson, because he's so young and we have the excuse of the inexperience there, I feel like we're not seeing him in the same light. Obviously, dropping the ball, it's still an issue. It's hard to say that De Gea wouldn't drop the ball, considering we've seen him do it 70 times. But maybe he wouldn't have in that situation. Maybe he would have made the double miracle save like we've seen him do so many times before, and Welbeck wouldn't have got the goal. So it is a very tough situation, but I feel like age is a massive part to play in this. Obviously, we've seen Van der Sar play into his late 30s and undoubtedly, in my mind, be the best goalkeeper that's ever graced Old Trafford. But it's just you can't expect someone who has given this length of time to us to should just sit there and be like, okay, I'll leave now.
Yeah, it's basically just the argument of, do we want De Gea, who's obviously got the experience, but he's at an age where he will probably soon move on or need to move on, or do we go for the young, talented youngster who is proving himself to be fair, to be he's going to make some mistakes, but you've got to look at his age and how much he's played, and I think he'll give him a season, he'll sort those out. Look at last season. Have the problem of we have absolute manure in front of them.
Yeah.
I also think if you look at the other side of things, that will hurt us more. So by that I mean, if we keep De Gea as number one, I think Henderson is handing in a request because I don't see him being number two for another season. He's good enough. He knows he is. He kept Sheffield United up last season, and there's a ton of Premier League clubs that would love to have him. He's got the more attainable salary. Chelsea would love him. So
Chelsea would definitely love him. The amount of keepers that they've gone through in the last couple of seasons. Oh Lord!
And I feel that hurts more than De Gea leaving, because I think if De Gea goes, he's going to Spain because his partner's there, his child is there, I believe. Sense. So I'm much more comfortable with De Gea going back to Spain than Henderson going to a Premier League rival.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that makes me not happy about the situation is like all the stories that are coming out now. So there's just dressing room rumors that no one wants De Gea to be in goal and they all want Henderson.
Ole's statement coming out against the goalkeeper thing was brilliant. He was just like, "There's going to be it's just going to be rubbish." Like basically, he said, to paraphrase it, because I can't remember the direct quote, but he said, "There's going to be headlines about it, but that's just paper for fish and chips, basically." And I was just like, it is rubbish, and just let the gossip pages run. But I'm sure Ole will make the right decision. But I don't think it's going to be an immediate one. Like, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I just don't think it would make sense to rush such a decision.
100%.
With that being said, though, obviously the next season is coming like quicker rather than later, and obviously we're going to have all the cups open again, which means, funnily enough, De Gea can be the rotation keeper, and he can be in all the cup games. But as long as we stay in the cups, there's plenty of time for him to be playing.
Yeah,
and earning that extortionate salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. 100%. He could easily become like, for Europa or Champions League, wherever we end up, next season. He can play in the cup games. He can definitely be our goalkeeper. I do not see a problem in that at all. At least to make sure Hendo gets. They're both kept a bit happy, I guess.
Yeah. Other players that might need discussing about. Bailly. So Oli confirmed that he has COVID, so he's not going to be involved in the squad for a while.
I mean, it's only 2 weeks.
Yes, but Bailly has also
basically over in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, we got 8 more games. There's not many more. Bailly, well, there are rumors that Bailly wants to leave because he's not being played even when fit. So where does everyone stand on Bailly potentially leaving? Because he's not getting played over Lindelof and Maguire.
I wish he bloody was getting played over Lindelof and Maguire.
To be paid and played over those two.
Yes. Give him their wages. Just make it happen.
The London living, it'd be the UK living wage. I would hate to see Bailly leave. I just love him so much. Not even just as a defender, just as a player in the club. But he's not getting. The fact is, he's not getting played, and I don't blame him for wanting to leave for that reason. There's nothing, unless we start banging Jude or something. I don't know how we're going to get into Ole's head that he needs to stop playing Maguire and Lindelof as centre backs. I don't know how to get this message across.
Let Fred tell him.
Oh God!
We have to contact Fred. Let Fred tell him, and then he'll start swapping around the players.
He'll listen to Fred.
He does listen to Fred for whatever reason.
But Fred's there every week, like, boss, I think I can play. It's like, you know what, Fred? You're damn right you can.
I love the gusto. I love the effort, mate.
Bailly's a difficult one. Obviously, I said earlier that I wouldn't mind seeing him go. He's very injury prone.
He's quite fragile.
Realistically, if we were to keep defenders around, we'd have to keep Lindelof, right, as a backup to Bailly. We don't need Maguire. Maguire can just go. I'm tired of that. So we can have Bailly and Axel, and then Lindelof as the rotational backup.
I would love to see that, Axel and Bailly as our centre backs. I would love to see that.
But it's just one of those ones that he's definitely our best defender, but it's that whole injury prone thing. The man is literally his legs are just made out of glass.
He is made of glass. He is 100% made of glass.
Yeah, I'm quite torn on this as well because I can completely see both sides. Bai is in his prime playing years, so of course he needs to be playing week in, week out, and he deserves that. He's got the talent. But we can't have someone who we can only roll out 4 times a season. That's not good enough for us, considering how much we're going to be paying him. I'm sure it's 6 figures a week. No one's arguing his talent here. I truly believe he's the best centre-back we've got at the club. I don't think Ollie sees it that way, which is unfortunate. Of course, he makes the odd mistake here and there, but who doesn't? Every one of our centre-backs has made at least one howler this season.
Do you know who doesn't?
No. Who?
Harry Maguire.
Yep, of course.
Because he's not in a position to make those howlers, so he could scapegoat it off to someone else.
It's because he's playing left wing the entire time.
Hiding at the left wing position, that's why.
Oh my God.
But
That's still Luke Shaw's position, man. Like, what is going on?
But yeah, seriously, he's too injured for a club like United. It can't work. And if that means he goes, as long as it's not to a Premier League club, I'm fine with that. I can see a club like Arsenal trying to worm their way in, and he would improve them massively because he's better than everyone they've got there.
I could see that. You're right.
He's a top defender. He's a top centre back. It's a shame about the fitness, but maybe that's something he can't even help. So, yeah, I think either way, I'm not going to be happy because ideally he'd replace Maguire.
Yes.
But that's not happening. Maguire is the true manager of the club, and Ollie is a spokesperson. But yeah, whatever happens,
it took me a second there.
Whatever happens, all the best to Bai. I wish him all the best. One person I wanted to talk about very briefly is wan-bissaka. So obviously, over the break, England had a few games, and wan-bissaka played for absolutely none of them. So would you be surprised if wan-bissaka just turned up playing for Congo instead of England? Or do you still see him fighting for that spot with Walker, Trippier, Alexander-Arnold?
It's one of those like that story's been going on for like a season and a half now. And despite the facts and figures, he's still not getting played, despite literally owning. Like, if he was holding on, if a player was holding onto his pocket, it'd be the rest of the England right backs. The guy is so far ahead of the rest of them.
Yep.
It's just pure disrespect. It just is. So if you want to go play for Congo, I'd say go for it. At least you'll get playtime. You probably won't win anything. You won't win anything with England either. So doesn't matter.
Oh dear. And sorry, Sean, finish.
I was going to say, if you can somehow get a sneaky like German or Spanish or French into your nationality somehow, there's been a few players that've done
it. Trace it way back on Ancestry. Like, there's like 2% French blood in me. I think that qualifies me. I agree. I don't know. Yeah, I think he should be in the rotation against what is on paper the rest of the England squad. That he holds his own against them, definitely, and I think he should be given that rotation. But I wouldn't blame him for going to Congo because, yeah, like you said, either way, not likely to win anything. Like, it's the thing for me is with international football is on paper, England squad always looks 10 flipping 10. Like, we just have one of the best squads on paper. But then when we play, it's just, I think it's like Rio Ferdinand has said it in interviews, like back in the day, it used to be club mentality even in international football. Like all the Chelsea players would hang together, the United players would be together. It would be like rivalries. I recommend listening to any podcast that Rio Ferdinand is on. I think he's got his own one as well, which I need to listen to because he's just fantastic as a podcast guest to listen to. Just fantastic. They used to have that mentality of club mentality at international level, so it would be like that. But he said now the generation is kind of a bit more integrated. Like obviously on Instagram, we've got people, you know, all the players kind of interact with each other, and they're on a much more friendlier basis. They will. So I just don't understand why we can't put the results in. It just the math ain't mathing. But
we nearly had it in, was it 2018?
Yeah.
When was the last good summer that we had? That one summer.
We did really well. Like all things considered,
we did.
I feel like we could have beaten. Is it Croatia? If we'd kept Loftus-Cheek on the bench. The fact that he didn't play him for that, like Loftus-Cheek dominated the midfield from start to finish that entire tournament. The times that we played badly was when he wasn't playing.
Yeah,
it's just facts.
Yeah,
that is Maguire stat padding right there. That is fact.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's got something to do with the play styles that the players do individually, week in, week out. Harry Kane and Sterling, I think their play styles are very different, and until we can get a manager who knows how to interlink all of that, because Southgate clearly isn't the guy, I don't think we're going to see gold in England's future. I think he's picking all of the wrong players, in my opinion. Well, not all of the wrong players, but there's so many players that should be in over what he's putting out. And wan-bissaka is just an example of that.
Yeah.
Sure enough, you got Trippier, man. He's not even top 3.
No, Trippier is not top 3. Like, you have Kyle Walker, who's better, and then you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then you have wan-bissaka. How does Trippier beat all of them?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But now we're going to talk a bit about other players that we would like to see at our club. Jadon Sancho, once again, the Sancho club.
Well,
Sancho. The Sancho stat. If we say it enough times, he will come here.
The way Ollie has already said, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
We're not getting him. It's not happening. At most, we might get rid of Bailly. We might get rid of Van der Beek. We might even see the tail end of Pogba. But no, we're not going to buy anyone. He's literally said, don't get your hopes up. Apparently.
I mean, I'm going to stay with my mentality that I have towards this club in general is I'm expecting minimum until proven otherwise. So I don't know. But his value would have dropped now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's got to have dropped, yeah. They might be asking for more, but they're not going to get more. And if Sancho, what's the forces a move, then they're going to have no choice. I think we're going to need that over the summer if he's going to come. I don't think he wants to be there anymore. He's been there for 2 seasons too long.
Yeah.
I just want to see him back in the Premier League.
I would also like to see
Leon
Leon Bailey as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love Bailey to be a United player.
Yep.
Though apparently one player that Ollie was looking into was Llorente or something. Not the one that used to play for Tottenham. He's a midfielder, a young, I think he's Spanish.
Okay. Attacking mid or defensive mid?
A centre mid, like box to box kind of thing.
Box to box. Okay. Well, I mean,
we're just gonna have to wait and find out because the way that these people do business.
Yeah, monitoring the situation.
Director of football does over the summer for us.
Yeah. And there is another Dortmund player that has been heavily rumored to be coming to United, Erling Haaland. Now, not too long ago, his big mouth manager basically said, I don't give a shit if I never give another player to Man United, and I couldn't care less for Man City. Knowing that, would you still go into business with this man, Society Haaland? If so, how much are you offering?
No, I can't be asked with that. It's too much. There's certain agents and managers that you just need to cut ties with them. That's realistically what it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've got nothing to add. I just can't be asked. I can't be asked with it.
Sir Alex famously called him a shitbag. So, and yeah, he takes it as a badge of honor, which says a lot about him. But you still just leave all that talent in Erling because of Raiola. I don't know, because you're going to get the same stuff you're getting with Pogba right now. This is a glimpse to the future. I guess we lose either way, because we either lose out on the top class talent or we have to deal with an absolute tool of a He's not a manager, is he? Agent. Yeah. Unless we have our players sign a contract and their agent sign a contract that the agent is not allowed to go and publicly disrespect the club, I don't really want to deal with Raiola anymore. And
in all honesty, I've been very back and forth with, like, I appreciate Pogba's performances, but the sooner he's gone, on two fronts now, the sooner he's gone, because I can't bother with his bullshit and Riola's bullshit, like, just get him out. Can't wait to see the tail end of him.
Look, if he wants to go, let him go. I appreciate everything he's done for the club. His performances have been, he's pulled out some stellar performances, but I can't, with the toxicity of these agents and back and forth rumours with is he going, is he not? It's not good for the club, not good for the reputation that we have. It's Shade Borough FC behaviour, and I don't like to see it, so let's get it out.
I
agree. There should be a contractual clause to say that these agents don't, until a club has made it official, these agents don't go around pandering on Twitter and social media about making shitty gossipy rumours. It's just fucking pathetic.
We had it all last summer. Like, we know that one man who, it's an absolute certainty. It might not happen by the end of the week, but it will definitely happen by the end of the week, no matter what. I've got the episode lined up, ready to go. We're just waiting to hear the yes. need to cross the I's and dot the T's. Yeah.
That is how it was said.
That is how it was said.
That is how it was said. Earlier, I did say Bailly got COVID, and I forgot to wish him a quick recovery. So I just want to do that now. Wishing you a very speedy recovery, Bailly, regardless of what happens with the club or anything else. Wishing you a speedy recovery. I think that's it. I don't think I want to talk about anything else other than Pogba staying because no one wants to pay $300K a week for Pogba and his loudmouth agent.
Swap. I will take Ronaldo. You can have Pogba. It's done.
I for some reason I don't, unless Ronaldo wants to move, I don't see it happening.
No. Personally. I think it sounds awful. I kind of don't want Ronaldo back.
The thing is, like, I can see that aspect of, like, he's old and he does only have a couple seasons left, but they will be bangers. You know they will. They will.
And he would be a better Cavani, basically. He'd be able to teach the kids.
We didn't even talk about it. Cavani was bogey, that Brighton match. Absolute bogey. Oh, he was...
Yeah, I saw one of his touches.
He was pants. He was so rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, no effort to get the ball. I think Cavani, I think, might go at the end of this season, which we already said. Likely that he'll go this season, if not definitely next season. He was
yeah.
Okay, yeah. We forgot to say it, but now it's all coming back to
It's all coming out now. Well, his dad's already put in, whispers out into the universe. Oh, he wants to leave. He wants to come home,
all these dads getting involved in there.
Dads, agents, just shut them all up.
So it's Haaland's dad as well has been saying, he wants
it is Haaland's dad. It is, yeah.
All these dads getting involved. I don't get it.
Watch it. Next thing that's going to happen, Martial's cat's going to come out of the bloody cupboard and be like, he doesn't want to be a United boy anymore.
Martial's son's going to write a letter that says he doesn't want to play.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he was comfortably the worst of our front three yesterday.
Yeah.
Cavani. Like, I like that he's letting his facial hair grow out, but ever since he started doing that, he's been playing like a goddamn fool.
It's messing with his aerodynamics. It's not that good. We need to get rid of it. And I'm pro face fuzz, but yeah, you're right. He's been playing bogey since that face fuzz came in.
Well, it's like when Shaw shaved his head, he started playing better.
Well,
the haircuts have something to do with it. They do.
Yeah.
It works for some.
Yeah, it happened with Rooney as well. When he went skinhead, he was a pitbull.
Rooney in his skinhead era was just sublime. absolute beautiful football. Players need to think about this. It affects them. Like, clearly.
It does.
I think that's all the topics, unless anyone has any final words.
Yeah, let's end on Cavani's pony.
This is our first episode since the fact, so I did want to put something out there. I want to say rest in peace to Claude. I want to give a massive shout out to his family, and thoughts and prayers are with you all. I hope you are dealing with this in your own way, in a comfortable and healthy manner. It's very painful for a family member's loss, and when someone like him who's affected so many people, even though we don't support the same club, yeah, it's just a heavy loss. And I'd usually make a joke about Arsenal there, but like that's the gravity of the situation right now. Yeah, rest in peace to Claude, even though he's not affiliated with us or our club in any capacity.
No, but it's, you know, the guy was clearly very passionate about,
yeah,
you know, Arsenal, and yeah, brought some sensibility to Arsenal football.
Yeah, he brought laughs, he brought logic, he brought passion, as you said. Yeah, he is one of the pioneers of this whole fan football era, along with some others on AFTV. So yeah, just give him his kudos and his flowers. But we are Red Devils advocates over here, and make sure you give us our flowers too right now by liking this video and subscribing to us on YouTube. Red Devils Advocates, we are the only advocates you need in your life. Follow us on Twitter, Red Devils Advocate. Follow us on Instagram, RD Advocate. Follow us on Twitch, Red Devils Advocate. We're everywhere. Give us the attention, and let us know where you listen to our podcast, if you do, on an audio platform, because we'd like to reach you out there. We like to reach you there too. But until the next time, please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.